Good afternoon. This is Susan Jackson here with your 1 o'clock update for Tuesday, June 28, 2011. I apologize if you were watching the live version of this 1 p.m. update just a little while ago. Unfortunately, live stream kind of crapped out on me. So I'm going to start again, start back at the beginning so that we have a full recording for anybody who's not able to watch it live at 1 o'clock. So I apologize if you're going to hear me say the exact same things once again. So we're going to start off looking at the Dow, which is up almost 1% today at a plus 75. Again, we're looking at it trading at the bottom of the Donchian channel range. The long-term MarketClub's trade triangles are saying this market is up, but we have had a weekly trade triangle come in here in May at 12,446. So we'll be holding on. We won't be in a long position. We're also not in a short position. At a plus 75, we're still kind of in that sideways range, a little better than the minus 55 that we were seeing last week. But we're going to be holding off and entering a long position in the Dow until we get another weekly trade triangle. And we're going to look at the S&P. The S&P is looking very similar to the Dow chart. We're almost in the exact same position. We had a weekly right around the same time that we had that weekly in the Dow. We are waiting for a weekly green trade triangle before we enter another long position, or we're waiting for that monthly to turn around. Either can happen. If that monthly turns around, maybe the potential for a short there. But right now, still in that sideways mode, although looking a little bit more on the positive side than we were before. Taking a look at the silver market, one of our favorites among Market Club members. Again, with this, we're still in a long-term uptrend. We've been in this uptrend for over a year now. It has continued up. Just looking at, I'm going to max it out here. Actually, we'll go in just a little bit. We'll look at 2 years, and I'm going to take the weeklies off so you can see that that monthly trade triangle was way back in May of 2010. So not even this year. Silver has steadily climbed. It was outperforming gold at one point, but now it doesn't look like that's the case. I'm going to zoom it in just a little bit. Look year to date, trading at the bottom range of that Donchian channel. However, the Williams %R is indicating that this could possibly be in an oversold position. So we'll be keeping an eye on the silver market. A minus 70 with that one, which means it's still kind of in that sideways mode, but at the bottom end, unlike the Dow and the S&P that we just looked at. Taking a look at gold, we're seeing some pretty good chart analysis scores in the gold market just not very long ago. If you look here, we had a weekly just last week at 1513.18. So we're looking a little on the downside. We're in the sideways range, but we are on the down end of that sideways range. Taking a look at the Williams %R, again, this looks oversold as well, just looking at the Williams %R. Now taking a look at crude oil, we're down to a minus 90. Wait for this chart to come up here. There we are. Minus 90 means that all of our trade triangles are in a downtrend. The monthly, the weekly, the daily, all in a downtrend. You can see that right over here. Now looking at what does this score mean, the minus, oops, wrong one, the minus 90 here, I brought up this chart analysis score. You can see the criteria that make up this chart analysis score. So everything for the August contract of crude oil is looking on the downside, with the exception of the last hour close above the 5-hour moving average. So as you can see, these are all weighted by time. So the more down that it is, the more that score weighs on the score. So obviously 3 months is weighted at 30, whereas this last 10-hour close is only a plus 10, which is why we have that minus 90. The only saving grace, according to the trade triangles in the crude oil market, is that last hour close being above the 5-hour moving average. So overwhelmingly down in that market. And we're just going to move right along to the dollar index. The poor dollar getting beat up just as much as usual. Minus 80. We have a daily downtrend. It looks like it just triggered today at 75.04. And just all down. Monthly down, weekly down. I don't think anybody's surprised by the dollar index still looking pretty beat up. Trading at the higher end of the Donchian channel range though. Maybe one day the dollar will look a little bit better. We'll see. Looking at the Reuters-Jefferies CRB, again we're looking at a minus 90. We have had 2 up days in this market, but all the trade triangles are indicating negative, minus 90, not quite in that oversold position like we saw in a couple of the other markets. Taking a look at the Nasdaq, we're at a minus 55. Nasdaq hasn't changed much. It was looking pretty much exactly like this last week. It has had a few good days, a few bad days mixed in. Just in the last 5 or 6 trading days, we're at a minus 55, which means we're at the lower end of that sideways market, overwhelmingly down with the monthly, down with the weekly. Only saving grace in this one, according to the trade triangles, is the daily trade triangle, which triggered on the 21st at 26.48. And taking a look at the ProShares Ultra Short Financial, I was taking a look at CNBC this afternoon, and one of the things that they were talking about was that the financials have been overwhelmingly down in 2011. Now, as far as the short, this is going to be the ultra short of the financials, you're kind of seeing that. It's showing sideways mode, but the only triangle that's down is the daily triangle. So we are kind of seeing that reflected in this ETF. And lastly, taking a look at USO, the United States Oil Fund, that's in our perfect portfolio. We're at a minus 75, so if you trade the perfect portfolio, we are currently out of this market. If you're not trading that portfolio, it's possible to be in a short in this market, but it is sideways right now. But with all of our ETFs, we're going to trade those using the monthly and weekly trade triangles. Let me just go up here. I'm going to take these dailies off so they're not confusing. So if you get on here, we had the monthly very recently. That would be the time to enter the short position, hold that short position until we got back into the weekly. Now, if you are trading this with our perfect portfolio, we are only in cash or long in this. So if you are trading that portfolio, you want to hold off. You would not be in a short position. You want to hold off and wait for that trend to turn around. And that was your daily update for today, Tuesday. Thanks for bearing with us while Adam is taking care of some work-related things out of town. He'll be back on Friday, so I will be back with your update tomorrow. I hope everyone has a great Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow.